income statement, balance sheet, statement of cash flow. How could it not be relevant when 99% of all people graduating from school don't even know what a financial statement is? The most horrible subject of all was accounting. You know, I was sound asleep in an accounting course. And on top of that, I argued with the accounting teacher because the accounting teacher had no idea what accounting was. The guy was an idiot. It's about a financial statement. Income statement, balance sheet, statement of cash flow. How could it not be relevant when 99% of all people graduating from school don't even know what a financial statement is? And if they do, they probably had the same accounting teacher I had, Mr. Boring. Accounting is the most important subject for individuals because this is what your banker wants to see. Your banker wants to see your financial statement. This is your report card when you leave school. If you have a good financial statement, bankers will give you all the money you want. See, bankers have never asked me for my grades or my college I went through. I want to say this. You have this, they give you all the money you want. So the difference, that's what schools are not teaching you, is what's the difference between these people and these people. That's the big difference. And that shows up so that I was a pilot. You know, most of my friends went to fly for the airlines, but I'd be here. Or I could be, I could be in Alaska flying fishermen around the place, you know, a pilot with a small plane and, you know, flying around the place. Or I could own an airlines, or I could invest in airlines. And that's the difference in the mindsets and skill sets. You don't just make crossings. The education is extremely different on this side than on this side. There's earned income, portfolio income, and passive income. When you say to somebody, go to school and get a safe, secure job, that's earned income. When you say to somebody, you know, buy this house because the price may go up or the stock may go up, that's portfolio income. It's also called capital gains. And passive income is income that just comes to you on a regular basis here. Now the difference here, this is the most highly taxed of all incomes. In the US, it's at least 50% for most people. Portfolio today is about 20%. And passive, if you're smart and you know what you're doing, you can get it down to 0% legally. And I do emphasize doing it legally. So since tax is your highest expense, then why not work hard for passive income? Unfortunately, if you're an E or an S, then you're primarily working for earned income. If you put your money into savings or a 401k retirement, that too is earned income. So for most people who are following traditional advice, they're working for the most expensive of all incomes. It's earned income. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money from your pocket. They count anything of value as an asset. They count your car as an asset, your house as an asset. When it's really taking money from your pocket. Your retirement plan, guess what? It's a liability. It's taking money from your pocket every month. And whose pocket does it go to? Wall Street or City of London. And that's why, as you and I know, these funds, you know, they sit there, they go, assets under management. That's what they're paid on. You're not making any money, but they're making fortunes on the fees and assets under management. And most of these hedge fund guys and all that, you're not making any money, but they're sucking the fees out every day.
Right. And most poor people confuse assets for liabilities. They think their home is an asset, it's actually a liability.
Right. And again, that's why I was yelling at the accounting teacher. I said, an asset is a noun, like a house. Cash flow is a verb. So to understand if it's an asset or liability, it takes a noun plus verb. So if the cash is flowing out of your pocket, it's a liability. If the cash is flowing into your pocket, asset, verb, it's an asset. So I own 7,000 rental properties. Those are assets. Every month, the cash flows in. Whereas many people have the big house on the hill and the cash is flowing out.
Right.
And they're going broke.
Right, it's like a frame of mind.
There's three kinds of money today that you guys got to be aware of. One is God's money, and God's money is gold and silver. So this is silver.
Yeah.
And this is gold. The reason I brought it is most people don't know what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's government money, which is fiat currency, which is the dollar, the yen, the peso, the euro, the yuan.
Yeah.
Fake. and everybody's working hard for it. It's like eating fake food or drinking fake water. That's why people are getting sick financially, because they're working for fake money.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's fake assets, which was another part of the fake millennial, the fake generation series. But if you look at what happened with the fake central bank, see, the purpose of the central bank or the Fed or all, the Japanese bank, the Bank of Japan, or the European Central Bank, they pump out fake money. The purpose of central banks like the Fed is to protect the banks, not you. They're a criminal operation as far as I'm concerned. Don't save money, don't save government money, because they're corrupt as hell, as you know. Save God's money. In school, they compensate for risk by telling you to memorize the right answer. Don't make mistakes and don't ask for help. And if I didn't ask for help, I have my accountants, my attorneys, my bankers, and all that. I go into business like a rugby team. Boom, boom, and we kick butt. But the average guy is standing there, oh, I'm an A student, I'm going to do this all on myself, and a bunch of rugby players run you over, and you go, well, they're not playing fair. You know what, you're playing stupid. You should have a team. You should have accountants, attorneys, and bankers, and all that stuff. But that's not the game I want to play. I said, then don't play the game. The game of business is played with accountants, attorneys, bankers, hate to say it, politicians. You got to know the game. I have bad luck too. I've had financial crashes. I've had people stab me in the back, but they're all good because I grow from it. That's spirituality. Right. People who are afraid of making mistakes, like they teach in school, they don't ever grow. Because spirituality is there's good and there's bad, there's right and there's wrong, there's up and there's down. Most people only want to be right. They only want to be positive. Well, you can't have that. That's not reality.
Your first two businesses, the wallet business was up and then failed, and your next one was up and failed, but you would have never gotten here without those quote unquote bad events.
Yeah.
Should we stop using that word bad?
Yeah, every time I failed, it was like, good. I said, okay, what have I learned? And the average person, the reason they're poor is they haven't failed. They play it so safe. They haven't made any mistakes like they taught in school. That means they don't learn anything. That's why the school system's actually fundamentally corrupt. It's anti-education. My game financially is business, number one. Second is real estate. And that's why I pay no taxes. That's why Trump pays no taxes. Legally, it is a combination of business and real estate that gives us an unfair advantage over employees because they don't know what to do.
There was an article in the New York Times on the front page about a week or two ago, and it was about Jared Kushner, right? So Trump's son-in-law, and about
you saw that same article.
Yeah,
did you pick it up?
Yeah, I read it, and it was all about how
depreciation.
And he didn't pay any taxes, and his net worth was growing, and everyone's arms were up. Look at this guy; he's not paying taxes.
Yeah.
And this is the New York Times.
Yeah.
Okay, so considered a front runner in the news, showing us how bad this was. That this entrepreneur who grew his net worth by like 3 times or 4 times over the last 3 or 4 years, and I thought of you. What does that tell us? What do you see when you see that article?
Well, the New York Times article is an employee mindset, and they have no financial education. Somebody said Kushner has a loophole called depreciation. I go, you idiot. It's illegal. It's not a loophole. Depreciation is what the government wants us to do. So in other words, there's 3 things. There's appreciation, amortization, and depreciation. So the way guys like Trump and Kushner and the rich guys do it is called the McDonald's formula of business. So McDonald's has a business, right? They have a hamburger stand. And when you interview Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, if you saw the the movie, The Founder, he gave the formula away. The business of McDonald's is not hamburgers. The business of McDonald's is real estate. And that's the formula. So every time you go past a McDonald's stand, oh, you deserve a break today, eat at McDonald's. But they're not seeing the real game. The game is that little hamburger stand is buying the most expensive real estate in the world. So today, McDonald's owns more real estate than the Catholic Church. But the rich are evil and all that. They just can't see it. So I have the Rich Dad Company in the business side. So let's say I make $1 million. I don't want to pay tax on that. So I take that $1 million, instead of spending it on something stupid, I buy a piece of real estate. So let's say for $5 million. So I go from $1 million to $5 million. Then I appreciate, depreciate, and amortize that $5 million, and it offsets my $1 million in tax. Go to school, get a job, pay taxes, save money, buy a house because it's an asset, get out of debt, and invest in the stock market. That creates poor people. It's a hypnosis train going through your brain. So when people say, how do I change my life? Well, you change those words. I wouldn't go to school because you learn nothing about money in school. I wouldn't get a job because if I have a job, I'm an employee. And then I'd pay taxes, and I don't pay taxes. And I don't save money. And I use debt to get rich, and I don't invest in the stock market. That's why I'm rich. And so the young people who are listening right now, they're saying, but that's what my mom and dad said. But that's what mom and dad say all over the world. So to the young people, I just say challenge or question what you've been taught. Because from the Bible, I'm not religious, the word becomes flesh. So if you say, go to school, they say, but I learned nothing about money. Get a job, you become an employee. If you're an employee, you work for money. I pay taxes. Then they tell you to save money. Why would you save money when the government's printing money? And get out of debt. Well, debt is money. I use debt to get rich. Most people use debt to get poor and invest in the stock market. I don't invest in the stock market. So when you wonder why so many people struggle financially, is they haven't challenged the hypnosis, the words, go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, pay taxes. Until you question those hypnotic trances, you don't change.